About 6 years ago, my wife and I were living the American dream, living in a small town in the US called Greensboro in North Carolina. We had our OCI, Overseas Citizen of India, after naturalizing in America. And this was a multi-step process. I had moved there for work, worked on H1 visa, spent years on H1, and eventually got my coveted green card, the permanent residence. And after about 5 years of the green card, we applied for naturalization, got naturalized as American citizen. And my wife, son, and I are US citizens with an Indian OCI. So we were living the American dream, a house in the suburbs, son going to kindergarten, and I working for a multinational company. Things couldn't have been better, but life had other plans for us. My parents were aging, and we had to take a decision whether to support them remotely or move back to be around for them. And my wife and I took the extreme step of putting a pause to our American dream and decided to move back to India. And it has been over 6 years since then. And I've been reflecting on that experience. I thought of penning down my thoughts. And here it is in this book called An OCI's Journey of Return to India. The first chapter talks about why return to India. Why did we take this step? And how did we go about doing it? And the second chapter talks about money. Money, of course, makes the world go around. And this is at the front and center of any return to India decision. Because at the end of the day, it is money uh, is what has driven us to go abroad. We are all economic migrants when we migrate abroad. Now, the other chapter, the third chapter, is about how much money I need before planning to return to India. And this is a question that comes up often, more than any other question about return to India. And the fourth chapter is about after you take the decision, how do you go about formalizing the decision, firming up the plan, and working towards executing the plan. Now, the fifth chapter is to focus on the basics. And here I share our experience on keeping the move simple. Because if you lose focus, it's hard to wrap your heads around a complex thing like a return from a foreign country back to India. Now, I do talk about the movie day experience itself, executing on that simple plan that I talked about. And then I talked about the first month after moving back to India. What were the experiences? What were the logistical things to take care of? What were the basic things? For example, we had a 5-year-old son going 6, and we had to look for a school for him for the second grade. So here I talk about life, about paperwork, basic paperwork that you need back in India, and about schooling. What are the schooling options? How to go about looking for a school and selecting it, and then settling back. And of course, many of us are mid-career professionals. So after returning back to India, non-resident Indians returning back need to think about career, work, or business ventures or other opportunities. Here, I talk about those aspects of it. And then I also reflect on the contemporary healthcare and caregiving in India because we returned back to be around for aging parents. So healthcare was a preeminent topic that would come up often. We had to reflect on providing good care for parents while also staying healthy and happy ourselves. And then, reconnecting with life in India after return. So here are basic reflections on life in general. And then I muse about, okay, what is the longer term perspective? Because it has been 5, 6 years. So it's not been an abrupt move and something that I regret. So I reflect on these experiences and what contemporary India feels like, looks like for people like us. So in this book, I'm going to be talking about some of these topics. And if you do have questions or comments, feel free to ping here or